Good evening and welcome to the Victor J. Andrew Commencement Ceremony for the Class of 2020. Tonight we are here to celebrate the accomplishments of the Class of 2020 as they conclude their journey as high school students and look to a future of endless possibilities and opportunities. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our school board, district administration, and building administration, as well as staff who are here to honor our graduates. I would also like to welcome our parents, siblings, and loved ones who have joined us as well. We all know that it's those in the caps and the gowns who are here to be honored, but we also realize the vital role that you play getting them here along the way. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Victor J. Andrew Combined Choir as they perform Go the Distance, a tribute to the Class of 2020 and their ability to successfully reach this end of the journey called high school. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce our first speaker. This individual is not only our senior class president, she was also involved in Child Care Club, Varsity Athletic Leadership Team, and Variety Show. She plans to attend Illinois State University to major in secondary education with the hopes of becoming a high school history teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Claire Shilen.
Andrew High School was a place teachers encouraged us to break the status quo. define ourselves as we choose, where a jock can cook up a mean creme brulee, where a brainiac can break down on the dance floor. It's a place where one person changes us all. Andrew High School is where we made friends that we will keep for the rest of our lives. Does this sound like a speech you have heard before? I totally just copied Troy Bolton's graduation speech from High School Musical 3, word for word. Yeah, that is the best I could come up with. For some reason, the class of 2020 picked me as senior class president and gave me the task to speak at graduation. After that introduction, you guys are 100% regretting this decision. I promise I will make up for it, the rest of the speech. Good morning, evening, or good whenever you are watching this. I am Claire Shilen, senior class president. Well, look at us, graduating. Today is the day. I never thought it would be like this, and you would be watching a video of me while probably sitting in your room eating a whole tub of ice cream. Anyway, I never thought this day would come. I remember when I was in middle school and I went to every single home football game for Andrew. 100 middle schoolers and I would go and crowd up all the walkways and get yelled at by security. I know most of you know exactly what I am talking about. I was so excited to get to high school. I just could not wait. Every other Friday night, when I got my Andrew Camp t-shirt on and my favorite jeans that my mom just bought me, I would look up at those bleachers and imagine how magical high school would be. It was absolutely nothing like the movies or TV shows. As I walked onto that bus the first day, I soon came to realize there was no vampire waiting to fall in love with me, and definitely no students breaking into a musical. Even though that didn't happen, I could go on and on about the crazy things that happened throughout these 4 years. Not too crazy though. I learned that not to do that after my first detention was not like the Breakfast Club. I know not everyone's experience is the same. That's why it is so hard for me to write this speech about these 4 years. Even though everyone didn't have the same experiences, I feel like high school for everyone was very similar than we realized. We all started together as freshmen, and we were so excited but nervous. We were so amused by the upperclassmen on the first day. We were excited to attend our first high school dance. We couldn't wait to get asked with big posters. And I'm sure from the guys' perspective, we were really nervous to ask their crush from the 5th period. We were freshmen and thought the first homecoming was going to be insane. But we were stuck in the back of the gym once we got there. I remember I did the worm and I ripped my dress. So no, it was not just like the movies. Our freshman year, I am sure we made many mistakes. We all did. We were learning. I learned that you actually have to do your homework in class to get a good GPA and not just talk and make new friends. Then sophomore year came around and we started to get a hang of everything. Classes seemed to get easier and life was good. People started to see high school for what it truly was, or what it was going to be for them. We started to have friends that weren't just in our grade. We started to realize that we truly wanted to be a part of this school. We started to learn how to drive, which is terrifying for all the parents out there. I know it was for mine, at least, considering I passed my driving test by 1 point. I am sure we still do not like to drive with our parents very much because you can't get the image of them grabbing onto the handle on the ceiling and hearing them scream at you to slow down like you are some criminal, when in reality you are going 1 mile per hour over the speed limit. Junior year then came around, and I do have to say it was not the best, but we managed to get through it together. You are finally an upperclassman, and suddenly you have piles of homework every night. You finally start to realize that things you do in school truly matter, and you have to start applying yourself way more. So maybe, just maybe, you could get into your dream school. You start to stress, and real life slaps you right in the face. You have to take the SAT, which is the one test that basically determines your whole life, and with just my luck, I forgot my reading glasses. Woohoo. Junior year, you feel like life is slowly falling apart. Not to be dramatic or anything. But as soon as you think you cannot bear high school anymore, senior year comes around. It's almost like a movie, except for the part where you have to write a college essay and are terrified half the year that you won't get into any school that you wanted to attend next fall. Senior year, though, was crazy. You finally get to take classes that you want. You get to finally be in front at the dances and pep rallies. You finally get to attend your senior prom. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, was that too soon? Anyway, you see after all those crazy years who your true friends are. You realize who stuck by your side throughout it all. You see the growth you have made as an individual. I look back now and realize how different I was freshman year. And I love who I have become. I am sure you guys experienced this too. We are totally different people. We watched each other grow throughout these years, all the different friendships we have made. When I was a kid, I never thought this is how high school would be. It was like I wanted to live in this fantasy that never came true. You go through life with the bar raised so high that you don't realize all the amazing things until it's over and it's too late. You realize all the terrible things that happened that we thought were the end of the world at the time are just funny stories now that we can't wait to tell our kids about the good old days. At the time, it was sad to face the reality that high school was never going to be like we always thought. We grew up on Disney shows, so honestly, who could blame us? I do not know why we set our expectations up so high. It was like we all expected some girl that sat next to us in class to double as a superstar, or our best friend to secretly be a wizard. As we all know, that didn't happen. What did happen, though, was better than those movies. It was real high school. It was a great when you think back, even though it wasn't like 16 Candles or Clueless. But who am I kidding? If it was Clueless, we would get dress coded for sure. The point of it is, I wasn't expecting high school to be like this, and I'm sure life isn't going to be exactly what we expect or plan it. I love this school and I loved everybody in it. Even though there is no choreographed dancing on tables, we really were all in this together. Thank you.
I am honored to introduce tonight's keynote speaker. Our speaker is the epitome of perseverance and success. She redefined her story when she arrived in America at a very young age. As a T-Bolt, she was committed to all aspects of the high school experience by serving as president of Project Diversity, a member of the Color Guard, and participating in honors organizations like National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, and Spanish Honor Society. We look forward to her success at the next level as she attends the University of Illinois at Chicago to study neuroscience, pre-med on her path to becoming a doctor. Please help me welcome Ms. Dia Dilip.
One of the things my family and I did over this quarantine was get a new puppy. And it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision per se, but it was something we had been talking about doing for years. So once this break officially began, my sisters and I started our research. We religiously checked about 4 different websites to see what the scope was like for puppies in our area. We even made a PowerPoint presentation with pictures of cute dogs, just in case all else failed. But to our great surprise, it actually worked. Fast forward, and I remember standing in the pet shop with my dad, as a saleswoman read off the terms and conditions of our purchase. My dad calmly stood in front of her, listening to every word that escaped her mouth. I, however, stood in the corner, absolutely petrified. In that moment, all I could feel was a sheer wave of panic come across my body. I'd finally gotten what I had wanted. Part of me doubted whether or not I was capable of doing this. The other half of me wondered if I had signed myself up for something I knew I couldn't handle. Throughout our high school careers, I'm sure we've all felt, to some degree, that exact feeling I just mentioned. Whether it was walking into your first AP class, or scrambling to finish an essay the period before it was due. Or maybe it was waking up at 10:59 to submit our e-learning attendance forms, which are due at 11. But nothing compares to the feeling of standing here today. The combination of uncertainty and excitement that fills all of us as we close this chapter of our life story. Throughout these past 4 years, we've made it our goal to blossom into the best possible versions of ourselves. And though we've built our own identities, personalities, morals, and perspectives, we indefinitely find in ourselves the patterns and qualities of the men and women who we admire most. As we were growing up, those people were our parents, who held our hands and tied our shoelaces on the very first day of every new adventure. They, too, are probably sitting alongside us tonight, wondering where the years have gone. They've marveled at the level of maturity that we've shown, and are amazed by all that we've accomplished in such a short period of time. And I'm sure they'll always have the image of us walking into our kindergarten classrooms, forever etched into their memories. The very first time we ever waved goodbye to them. But for us, all we could think about was a journey that lied ahead, school. And in embarking on that journey, we met our teachers. We've loved them, respected them, admired them. But most of all, we've shared in the wealth of their knowledge and learned from them. Not only have they taught us what the derivative of 3x cubed was, or which battle started the Civil War. By the way, it's 9x squared and the Battle of Fort Sumter. But their teaching extended far beyond the classroom. Instead of teaching us what to learn, they taught us how to learn, how to ask questions, how to stand up for what we know is right, and above all, how to be good people. And as we stand here tonight, it's hard to find the words to say anything else but thank you. Thank you for the greatest gift you could have ever given us, our education. Thank you for the values that you've instilled in us, especially those of passion, perseverance, and compassion. We are who we are today because of your efforts, your sacrifices, your time, your dedication, and your unending support. Though we may be the ones receiving our diplomas tonight, we want you to know that your contribution to our success has never gone unnoticed. But most importantly, here's to the class of 2020, a generation that was born in the shadows of 9/11 and graduated in the midst of a global pandemic. I think it's safe to say that our lives have been anything but normal. But if there's one thing that Andrew has taught me, it's how to be resilient. We spend our entire lives worrying about our futures, planning for it, in the hopes that trying to figure everything out would somehow make life easy. But the truth is, it doesn't. Instead, the future holds our wildest dreams and our deepest fears, and it is always changing. No matter how much we try to avoid it, we are constantly growing, making mistakes, and learning how to do things differently. So, I dare you to dream big. Be incredible in every capacity of the word. Be the reason our world has peace, love, hope, kindness, and a future to look forward to. And never forget where you came from. Because if Andrew High School has taught you one thing, I hope it's how to be an extraordinary person. Congratulations, Thunderbolts.
At this time, it is my honor to introduce to you Dr. James Gay, Superintendent of Consolidated School District 230.
I have the distinct pleasure of working with our students, staff, parents, and community in preparing you not only for graduation, but more importantly, for what comes next. As soon-to-be alumni of Andrew High School, there's a world of possibilities ahead of you. As we celebrate your graduation virtually, this certainly is not how any of us imagined your senior year would conclude. Our hearts go out to you and your families, as many of the traditional milestones celebrated during the final semester have needed to be modified, postponed, or sadly canceled based on the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, as a school district, we have remained steadfast in our commitment to making the culmination of your senior year meaningful and respectful of all that you have accomplished in your 4 years of high school. Throughout your high school years, you've focused on telling the stories of students and staff members. Each of you has a story to tell. We celebrate those stories in the rich, diverse, and unique District 230 story that we have come together to create. Today, we celebrate the first chapters of your story. We celebrate individual triumphs and challenges, stories of passion for learning, kindness, integrity, and grit that made you who you are today. Stories of friendships forged through classes and study groups, co-curricular activities, and the love for your fellow T-Bolts. Stories of academic successes include 2 National Merit Finalists, 2 semifinalists, and 5 commended, 163 Advanced Placement Scholars, including 32 with honors, 43 with distinction, and 3 National AP Scholars. 813 students took 1,362 AP exams. 55 of you are Illinois State Scholars. 16 earned seals of biliteracy, and 13 more being commended. You have contributed toward making Andrew High School being named among the best high schools in America by U.S. News and World Report with a silver medal. And you were offered over $6.2 million in scholarships. And stories of co-curricular highlights such as marching band taking 5th in Illinois, Wind Symphony being nationally recognized and invited to the BOA National Festival, 48 all-conference athletes, 2 conference team championships, 4 SWSC Players of the Year, 3 regional team champions, 1 sectional team championship, 3 team state qualifiers, and 13 individual state qualifiers. And this is important. 29 out of 30 varsity athlete programs received the IHSA Team Academic Achievement Award. And 40 senior athletes have committed to play college next year. And stories of compassion. The class of 2020 has completed 39,428 service learning hours. And according to Independent Sector, that equates to more than $1 million in contribution to your community. You have supported the district-wide Relay for Life efforts over the past 4 years that have raised more than $6.67 million for American Cancer Society over the past 23 years in the district. And this supports research and service for patients and families in our communities. There are so many stories that bring pride to our community. But my hope is that you take these 3 key values with you as you write your next chapter. Your unique voice, the courage to take risks, and a shared responsibility to be kind. First, you have begun to develop your voice in the 4 short years you have spent here at Andrew High School. You have begun to find your place in this world, and you will continue to evolve in understanding in the coming years. Your experiences, your values, and your identity are distinctive to you and you alone. Your unique voice is important in this world, and don't be afraid to express yourself and share what makes you uniquely you. Second, find the courage to take risks. When you believe in something passionately, be willing to take a chance on making your dreams a reality. I encourage you to take a chance, speak up for what you believe in, and have faith in yourself. And finally, be kind. Always be kind. Your thoughtfulness in big and little things makes a difference. A simple act of kindness can make a day better for others and for yourself. Treat others with empathy and respect, and the world will be a brighter place because of you. My hope is that you will take these words of advice and all the lessons you've learned here at Andrew High School with you as you write the next chapter of your story. I firmly believe that you are ready for whatever path you choose upon graduation. Your family, friends, school staff, and community have invested in your future through the education you've received here in District 230. Please take a few minutes to thank them for their love and for their support and the commitment they've made to your success. Tell them in person, pick up the phone and call them, or share your appreciation through social media. We can always use more positive messages there. As in any good book, there is anticipation of what the next pages will bring. We are sure you have mixed emotions as you look toward your future. There is excitement as you conclude your high school years and reflect on the stories you have created here. There is uncertainty as you turn the next page onto the chapter, not knowing exactly what to expect. And there is anticipation as you take on the challenges and create your story. But I can tell you one thing. I can assure you that you have the education at Andrew High School has prepared you well, and you are ready. You have put in the hard work and learned incredible lessons along the way. You've found great success. You've learned from your mistakes. You are prepared to write your story in the future of possibilities. And wherever your story leads, we know you will make us proud as Andrew High School graduates. Congratulations, T-Bolts. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. It is time for me to confer to the Board of Education that these students have successfully met the Consolidated High School District 230 requirements for graduation, and they've complied with the regulations and laws required by the state of Illinois. At this time, I present the members of the Andrew High School class of 2020 to be awarded their diplomas.
To share final thoughts for the class of 2020, it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Marty Mayday. This amazing young lady has been a true leader of our school. She has shown us compassion, equal voice, and understands how true leaders should carry themselves. Other than her work with student council, she was a member of the badminton team, orchestra dance troupe, and served as a peer helper with students with disabilities. I am proud to share that Marty will be attending the University of Wisconsin at La Crosse to study economics in the fall. Please welcome Miss Marty Mayday.
Hello everyone. I must begin by saying how grateful I am to have an opportunity to be addressing all of you right now at the Class of 2020 commencement ceremony. Let us also take a moment to express our utmost gratitude for the friends, family, classmates, staff members, and administration who are the reason we are here. We not only recognize but praise your constant support that has allowed our past years at Andrew High School to be an incredibly positive experience that we will all miss. A famous quote from a former world leader reads, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Throughout our time here as students at Andrew High School, the staff and administration have given us countless hours of time and effort, valuable words of advice, and much of themselves. As students, we were able to truly feel the benefits of someone else giving to us, and we learned something that we will never forget: the true value of giving. After high school, all of us will advance on to the next stage of life in completely unique directions. We are all going to receive different experiences out of life. But instead of focusing on the things we will get, it is important to focus on what we will give. What we give to others will shape who we become in the future, and it will determine the course of our entire lives. So I challenge each and every one of you to never stop giving. All of us have learned the true impact that giving has had on us, and now is the time for us to begin giving to others. Everyone in the class of 2020 will give to others in different ways. We may give our love, our time, our service, our attention, our support, our friendship, and maybe even little pieces of ourselves. We will learn when to give these things and where they are needed the most. It is our job as we go into this world to give love where there is hate, empathy where there is apathy, kindness where there is cruelty, attention where there is neglect, light where there is darkness, and justice where there is injustice. All of the members of the class of 2020 are extremely successful individuals who have already embraced the concept of giving in many ways. We have given through years of fundraising for various organizations such as Relay for Life, visiting charity organizations such as Feed My Starving Children, partaking in donation drives for Veterans Week, making blankets for ill children under the St. Linus Project, and fundraising for and partaking in the annual St. Baldrick's event. There is no doubt in my mind that everyone here will begin the next chapter of their life and live up to their full potential, being the best person they can be. But what will separate Andrew High School's class of 2020 from the rest of the world will not be their high levels of success, their incredible intelligence, or their strong work ethic. It will be their ability to give. Everyone in this graduating class will have gratitude for everything that they have been given, and they will continue to give. We will promote a culture of generosity and empathy in the world. So whatever it may be that you give in the future, may you always give with your whole heart. Your life will be composed of what you give to others. I have full faith that no matter what, Andrew High School's class of 2020 will give good into the world. Never stop giving. Thank you everyone for your time. For one last time, let us do one more act of giving together and give it up for the class of 2020. Congratulations, Thunderbolts.
To the class of 2020. This is the final moment of our commencement ceremony, and a time in which I get to share my final words, my final thoughts, my reflection of my experiences with you as students here at Andrew High School. I gotta tell you guys, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling this. I mean, there's not one kid in front of me. There's nobody in the stands. I gotta get out of here. Let's face it, guys. You know, we haven't been together for 2 months. Heck, this isn't a real ceremony. This isn't how we started this thing, and I'm thinking this isn't how we should end this thing. So when I really think of Andrew High School, and I think back the 4 years that we've spent together, I don't think of the 8 weeks that we've been dealing with what we've been dealing with. I think of the times that we have had together in places like here, like in this stadium, enjoying and frankly, celebrating. So guys, this is where it all started, right? 4 years ago, freshman first day, we had a chance to meet and sit and talk, and I remember two things really from that first day. One is I learned about the compassion that you had as a class, that you always looked out for each other at every turn. And the second thing I learned is the talent. Our main gym, right, where the competition took place. One thing that the class of 2020 had was a sense that they had to work hard for everything that they got, that they had to have that grit to make it through those challenges, that they had to have perseverance. This is what I miss about Andrew High School the most. The interactions in the hallway, kids talking to each other just on a regular day. It's really about community. It's about the sense of being a family. It's about being together. It's being in the simple times. As you envision your time here at Andrew High School, this is what I want you to think about. This is where it ends, right? Graduation, your 4 years, your life is just starting. My hope is that throughout all of your lessons that you've learned, whether they were in class, whether they were by coaches, your sponsors, your advisors, I hope that you remember that all of this is part of a big picture, something that you're going to take from here to wherever and make your life happen. It's been an honor to work with you over the past 4 years. I value the experiences that we've had together, and I look forward to the experiences that you're going to have beyond Andrew High School. Please take a little bit of us with you. Remember where you came from, remember where home is, and good luck. At this time, it is my honor to invite the class of 2020 to rise and take part in a time-honored tradition. Graduates, please move your tassel from left to right, signifying the transition from student to alumni. Class of 2020, congratulations, you've made it.